Lesley. Big shout out to Lesley, guys. Lesley hopped in here literally last minute, stepped up for the celebration. We are so blessed to have you. Davina's a massive fan of yours, as am I, Lesley. You show up every single morning. And it's the people who show up, by the way, who are the people who succeed. And you're a perfect example of that, Lesley. So thank you so much. What I'd like to do, though, is just start back at the beginning, because there'll be lots of people here at like the beginning of their journey who are crippled with low self-belief, lots of self-doubt. They'll believe they can't do it. So if you can share perhaps what you were struggling with, Lesley, and some of the toughest moments as well at the beginning, I think that'd be a great place to start.
Okay, so 5 years ago, I left my husband because I was in a pretty unhappy marriage. Decided I was going to not live the rest of my life being unhappy. And I moved into a flat on my own and started doing things that I hadn't done before and were not good for me, like comfort eating, boredom eating, eating when I was tired, coming home from work exhausted and using food as a reward.
Yeah.
Consequently, over that 5-year period, I put on an extra 3 stone and found that I couldn't go up the stairs to my flats without being out of breath. Literally carried the shopping up and then had to sit on the floor for 10-15 minutes to get my breath back.
Wow.
Didn't exercise, never really liked exercise, so didn't do any exercise. Sat on a chair on a computer all day at work, like a lot of us do, and got to the point in sort of middle of last year where, honestly, it sounds dramatic, I thought, I'm 62, I'm on the downward slope now, my life is pretty much over, I'm not going to be able to do all the things I wanted to do when I was younger. And I was exhausted at work. I had brain fog. I was struggling to keep up with a lot of work because I couldn't think properly, and I was so tired. And I used to come home, honestly, get straight into bed, put the telly on, eat. You know, not avocados. Used to box meals, ice cream. And I'm being really honest here, I was known for eating a whole tub of Haagen-Dazs ice cream just with a spoon, just sitting there eating it. And I was
How was it making you feel, though? Well, like when you were doing that, when you finished the tub, like how did you feel afterwards?
While I was eating it, I felt fabulous. The second I'd finished it, I just thought, I feel awful. I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't know what good I'm getting from this. I'd feel guilty. Then obviously I'd put on more weight. I'd look in the mirror. I hated how I looked. I didn't like looking at myself. I thought, I feel old. I feel frumpy. I feel tired. And literally, the best years of my life are probably over now. And what's going to happen to me now is I'm going to get ill because I'm overweight and I'm exhausted and I don't exercise. Worse than that, I just was not enjoying life. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to go to parties. I didn't want to go out with the guys from work that I love. And I was getting more and more reclusive. Weekends, I was lying on the sofa watching Netflix and eating. And I was really in quite a bad place. And
hard, Lesley, because what happens there is you do become more and more isolated. And then the more isolated you become, the more that we go to boredom eating, comfort eating. And then the more self-conscious we become, and the more less likely we're going to want to socialize, and it becomes that downward spiral. Exactly. And how long has all this, like, how long has all it been going on? Like, how many years would you say you've struggled with your weight?
Up until 5 years ago, I'd never struggled with my weight. But I'd always done a lot of exercise, gardening, things like that around the house. But when I left my husband, all of that stopped. And so for the 5 years, my weight had just been going up and up and up and up. And I didn't recognize myself. I thought, this is not me. This is not who I was. It's not who I want to be. And yet I couldn't seem to stop the cycle. And the more tired and the more fed up I got with myself, the more I ate, and the more I ate, the more tired and fed up I got with myself. So it absolutely was a vicious circle. and not a nice one.
And can I just say, there are so many people here saying so relatable, so relatable. I was the same. This was me. This was me. And what made you feel, Lesley, that we could help you? Because obviously people are skeptical with what they see on Facebook or online. So what made you feel that that we could help?
Well, I'd done everything. Like a lot of the people in this group, I tried every diet. I'd done literally everything. I tried every Facebook gimmick going. I paid a lot of money to do every Facebook gimmick going. And, you know, once you've paid your money, they leave you alone. I saw you pop up. There was something about how you were talking on the adverts that, or on your website, that seemed authentic to me. Honestly, I cannot tell you what it is, except it's almost like a sixth sense that you pick up when people are genuine, when people are kind, when they're authentic. And I was still skeptical. I was very skeptical, but I thought, well, you know what? I've tried everything else. I don't want to die young. I don't want to get ill. I'll give you a call. I had a call with you. And for the first time, I thought, not only does this guy sound genuine and sound like he's really interested in me improving myself, but he knows what he's talking about. You know, there was no kind of fluff or trying to sell you stuff. It was literally, where are you? What's happening to you? We can help. And I did my research into you, you know, because I'm not a stupid person. I did my research. I checked you out. I could see that you were qualified. I could see that you'd done a lot of work in this area. I could see that you were with the HSPC. I could see that you knew what you were doing. And then I had a call with Rudy.
Yeah.
And same, authentic, genuine. And I just thought, what have I got to lose, really? I could just say, no, I'm not going to do this. I would rather stay in bed and get fat. I would rather stay in bed and be exhausted. I would rather never go out again, never see people. I mean, who's going to say that? So
that's the option B. That's the option B, is that if we don't do anything, we accept our fate and just go back to being unhappy or even kidding ourselves and pretending that we are happy when we're not.
And I did think of settling. I did think, well, do you know what? I am of that age now where you put on weight and it's harder to lose. I am at that age where you start to lose your mobility. I am at that age where your joints start to hurt. So maybe I should just accept that. Maybe I should just accept that's where I am. And I tried doing that. But then every time I looked in the mirror, I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to accept this.
Because the thing is, like, it's so easy to accept it and to just give in, give up, or say it's because of my age, it's because of X, Y, and Z. All of these are limitations, Lesley, and you've heard me use this word an awful lot over the last number of months. But if we argue for our limitations, we get to keep them. But if we challenge them and we recognize that, in all seriousness, no one here watching this is special. Everyone's unique. We've all got our own specific challenges. But that doesn't mean that you can't achieve these things. And the comments right now coming through are just incredible, Lesley. You articulate yourself so well. You are just a huge breath of fresh air. And you're, to be honest with you, you're everything that TSD should be about, which is just openness, genuineness, and helping people. And Lesley, you do that all the time, by the way. I've seen you in the lives replying to people all the time.
Because me.
Go ahead.
Because they help me. You know, the one unique thing, you could go out there, I'm going to be really honest, you can go out there, you could get meal plans, you could get a coach, you could get a PT. You'll never get an inner circle. Yeah. I don't care where you look or how much money you spend, you will never get an inner circle like we've got. And I did, incidentally, cost out. If everything on this program, which is huge, all the support, all the help, all the books, all the meal plans, all the coaching, if you costed all that out individually and I did it, you would be paying 4 or 5 times more, because there is so much on this program. And it isn't just the meal plans and the coaching and the exercising, it's the mindset work. It's the understanding your limitations. It's a pushing beyond those, and everything that goes towards helping you do that. It is absolutely the best thing I have ever done for myself in my entire life.
And Lesley, obviously, I appreciate the kind words, but you did this, nobody else. It's your sweat on your shirt, as I'll say so many times. And you are the powerhouse of a high achiever because you keep showing up and you utilize everything that we provide for you. Like, you don't just dip your toe in the water. So I'm trying to say to you, all the credit belongs to you. So Lesley, thank you for that. And for the one, and by the way, the inner circle. Those who don't know what the inner circle is, this is a Facebook group that was created by accident, literally by accident. And like most of the things in TSD have been built by accident based on us learning what you people actually want. And some of you here will say, I'm not a social media person. I'm not big on Facebook. I don't comment. I hang in the background. But others, like yourself, Lesley, will recognize that a giving hand is never empty, and pulling someone else up doesn't just help them, it helps you as well. And having a safe space like the inner circle means that you don't feel isolated. It means that even if you do live on your own, people meet up for coffees and walks all over the United Kingdom, all over Ireland as well. And I'm so grateful because it is 100% the people, all of you wonderful people who are watching this, who've created that, nobody else. And Lesley, what would you say to someone who is scared of putting themselves first or investing in themselves, or who is afraid they'll fail? Actually, that's the biggest one. What would you say to someone like that?
I'd say I was frightened of failing, and there's been a few times through the journey where I've been frightened of failing, which is where the inner circle and the coaches come in, because they help you go through that fear.
Yes.
And all I can say is, I'm not tired anymore. I'm not exhausted anymore. I don't have brain fog anymore. I don't have postnasal drip anymore. I don't have acid reflux anymore. My BMI has gone from very high back into the normal range. My muscle mass has increased. There are so many benefits. And at the point that I joined, I was in a size 16. And as of this weekend, I'm in a size 10.
Yes.
I socialise. I love how I look in the mirror. I've met so many wonderful people. And no, it isn't easy. You don't just sit there and it just happens. You have to do the exercises, but they're so exciting to do because the group is so wonderful. My coach checks in on me all the time. He's always pushing me. Even when I do well, he's like, now what can you do? Now what do you need to improve? It's just, if you're frightened of doing it, you will never look back. If you do it and you do the program, you will never, ever look back. There are so many of us that have proved that. It's just the best thing ever. Don't be frightened of failure because there's so many resources that will help you through that.
I think it's important to remember that, because the reason why we've a 98% success rate is because we will literally hound you until you succeed. We will keep calling or ringing or messaging, and I say that jokingly, but I mean it, because your success is our success. And obviously we want you to win. And Lesley, I feel so privileged to have you as part of the TSD team, to have you as part of the family. And the amount, literally, there's almost 1,500 comments here, Lesley, so best looking through all of them. But Sarah Green, Sue Room, Sandra, Eleanor, so many wonderful words. Size 16 to a 10. That's what I'm aiming for. Thank you for sharing. You've done this and you're still doing it. And I'm just so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I haven't got the vocabulary to express that enough, but I really am. And thank you for coming on.
Me as well, because big shout out to Anne McCaig, because she's encouraged me on lifting weights, watching her success, and I can now lift 40 kilogram deadlift.
Incredible.
You know what? I couldn't even carry that. Let's remember, I couldn't even carry the shopping up the stairs to my flat without being breathless.
Wow.
You know, and it does, doing the work, having the group, all of it. Everything on this program is unique, and you won't find it anywhere else. I know, because I looked, and so did many of the other women on this group.
Well, thank you. And like people will say, what if it doesn't work? Like, what if it does work?
Yeah.
What if you achieve what you've achieved, Lesley? And
I,
if we try,
if it doesn't work, start again. If it
yeah,
doesn't work, you try again. We keep going on TSD. When we have a bad day or a bad week, or we can't do something, we do it again. We try again. We have the support, the encouragement, and we try again. I don't think anyone can not get there. I really don't.
I think that's so powerful what you said, because recognizing that not trying is failing by default.
Yeah.
It's really important, because if you don't try, you definitely fail. There's no two ways about it. And Lesley, I can't thank you enough for coming on. And you're such an inspiration. You're such a powerhouse of energy as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Definitely energy. Unbelievable. So thank you for coming on. And to everybody else as well, I comment 2 for 1, comment pick me, take the help, and to take the brain fog thing we've just built as well, guys. Comment brain fog. Thank you, Lesley. Have a wonderful day, and bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.